Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Apex Racing Team Porsche eSports Tag Heur eSports Supercup
Yep, there they
stream.
go.
I'll get there. Alex Simpson here, and I am joined by Lee Thompson. We're just having a quick little look at Zach Campbell. Those that didn't tune into last week, we have got obviously the driver's eye view shots from this week. And yeah, so we're focusing on Kevin, and we've got Zach, and hopefully in the weeks to come we'll also get all the rest of the guys back in the mix as well. Lee, yeah, welcome. Glad to have you back here as well. Obviously, build changes just kind of happened, so yeah, lots to talk about.
It's going to be really interesting to see how everyone copes with the changes this week, isn't it? Yeah, evening, everyone. Like you say, it's been, what, 4 days since patch came out, and there was a good little chunk of updates in the Porsche cars that the guys are using today. Jamie Fluke did a nice little patch notes review for us earlier on in the week, summarising those changes. And yeah, a lot for the guys to get on top of. Changes to kind of qualifying scrutiny to get rid of some of the sort of shenanigans that have been happening in qualifying, but also just actual, the handling and the behaviour of the cars as well. At the minute, I hate to say it, Alex, but it looks like Coanda have figured out the qualifying tricks with the new revised system for this week. They are almost filled out the entire top 10.
Yeah, well, I think we were we were hoping just before we come on, they were halfway down the grid, and looking like they were mixing them. But certainly, yeah, they seem to be getting the heat into the tyre better than everyone else. So yeah, of course, we were talking about build change. Lots have happened. Scrutineering's completely been revised. Clutch heat has been and kind of wear has been introduced into the sim, so the guys are not quite able to slip the clutch like they used to. So yeah, different techniques are certainly going to be needed to heat the tyres as opposed to last time. So yeah, might mix up the grid, but certainly yeah, the Coanda boys doing a great job out there. As always, they seem to spend so much time analysing the sim to kind of get the maximum out of the tyres, and they've done another great job.
Yeah, it just shows, frankly, that it wasn't like some kind of fluke to them finding the trick with the kind of previous system and sticking with it, and nobody else being able to find what that is. They're just able to methodically, work through all the different options and get the very most out of it. So like I said, they've absolutely got it sus. Not a huge amount of time left in qualifying now, and then we got our two
they all ran late
races
for some
the
reason.
evening to go. Sprint race,
can't see them
all
doing
6 laps
anything
long,
funky.
followed by the feature
Yeah.
or a 12 lap main.
Alejandro's done a 0, 3/10 off.
And a little listening to.
I mean, we were on pole last week,
Kevin,
so
yeah, so
they ran really much later than that.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, if we're 10th, that's fine with me, to be honest. The 2-lap Q-strat was obviously
pretty happy.
the 1 lap.
Really.
Let's just mute the guys just for a second, just so we can talk. Lee, yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously they're a bit concerned of what they might be missing, but Seb in 4th, so it's not too far off. The interval's pretty close. Jeff right up there, Zach there, Jamie up there as well. So they're there or thereabouts, I think. It's not really much. Spa's a funny one generally, anyway, isn't it? You can lose a whole lot of time. Spa, a long track, anyway. So
Absolutely, and especially that Poxy final chicane, Alex, that always used to do my head in back in the day. It's such a long lap round here, and you kind of get through all your sectors. You go, oh, I'm on it. I'm hanging on to a 10th off or whatever, and then 3/10 goes in the chicane, and that's it. It's so easily done. Like I say, such fine margins. So what we're looking at, 20.81 for pole. I have to point out as well that pole and second, exactly the same lap time there, Alex, to 2 decimal places, and then down to 10th is less than 4/10 off. So it's like I say, very, very fine margins all the way down there.
Yeah, Mitchell coming on strong, I think, this season. I don't know for those that obviously know. I think Mitchell only moved to their team house for this season, so he's perhaps he's perhaps took him a little while to get settled in and stuff like that, get his rig kind of how he likes it. But yeah, I think he's definitely feeling quite comfortable now. He was really quick at Road Atlanta, wasn't he? Yeah, quick again.
User in your channel started recording.
So yeah, it should be interesting. iRacing just jumped into the guys' channels and are recording away. So it's always funny when you hear that. Right, so just got any stragglers still doing laps? No. One interesting little thing there, Lee, as well. I mean, again, I don't know if everyone knows, but you can't actually spectate the session anymore in iRacing. You have to join as a spotter. The second PC here actually joined as Jamie's, and of course I couldn't see Zach's qualifying laps. It was blanked out.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's solo quali, isn't it? So yeah, so we were just looking at Scenic Cam, but now we have his camera up.
Did not consider that obstruction to us, eh?
So yeah, so we will have that second one. We'll definitely have to join off of Zach's machine. So yeah, I mean, just from the little chat there, the guy seemed fairly happy. I think. Let's turn the mics back on and just have a little listen, just to see how it goes on the first laps. Yeah, always it's always interesting, that first lap. Carnage could ensue. I could be running to the mute buttons very, very quickly. And
just before the guys actually get going, let's just confirm. So obviously we've got our 5 drivers that we're interested in. We're focusing on the 2 RLL Esport guys of Zach Campbell and Kevin S. Jr. Here. We've also got Jeff Gassi, Jamie Fluke and Johan Half. Jeff Gassi qualified 9th, Zach Campbell 10th, Jamie Fluke 11th, Johan Half 12th, Kevin Ellis 16th. Lights, Alex.
Yeah, lights are on. Here we go then. Oh, this is also something that needs to be talked about. People are going to get different starts. It looks like Fluke, we can see him really bogged down as well, so that's not kind of what we wanted to see. Jeff got a reasonable start at the orders.
There's a little bit of an accident behind, I think, as well. I think the guys escaped a bit of an instant behind. I saw a whole bunch of cars shuffling down into turn 1, so yeah, they did pretty well to survive.
Jamie lost 5 off the start, so I hope he hasn't done any damage to his clutch, that's for sure. May just have a little check-in with him a bit if we can. We'll stay with Kevin at the moment.
Yeah, Kev's got Jamie Fluke pretty close behind him as well.
Side by side through Lecombe. Oh, it's never easy through here. But yeah, it's through.
Oh, and instant up ahead. And that's one of the Commander guys. Yeah, it's De Jong. You were just saying, Alex, about how good De Jong's done, and he's out right to the back into the gravel. So Seb's actually at the top now. What happened to? Wait, where's Rogers as well? So De Jong and Rogers out, Alex. Wow! After Commander having such an amazing qualifying session, that very, very quickly went wrong for them in the sprint. Of course, that's going to affect them strongly for the future as well. With not going to have an opportunity now for the top 10 in the sprint.
Championship falls back into our hands all of a sudden.
What a crazy start for those guys. But say again, thankfully, all of our 5
looking
boys
good here, mate. Made some good progress.
In there. Jeff Gassi 7th, Zach Campbell 8th, Johan Half 9th, Kevin Ellis Jr. 12th, and Jamie Fluke 14th. So it's just survival now, I think, really, for these guys.
Pick them off one by one from now. P12 at the moment.
In there very briefly to George. Just obviously talking about the fact that we've lost for those guys. It's important that a good race. Championship kind of swings back in their favour a little bit. Having some issues with getting a picture of Zach. So let's go on there.
Jamie just battling with Beneke, I can see on the timing screen as well. Kevin the same, battling with Osgard.
Racing what disappears.
Nice if I told me to move out of the way.
Sure, we're going to be able to see much of Zach, unfortunately, in this one. So just
Feel that.
second system, struggling somewhat.
Yeah, well, he's had a pretty. I've been sat on Zach so far for the start of the race, and he had a pretty clear run. To be fair, he's just been following Jeff Gassi and Johan Hart's been following him closely. So the three of them almost have just sort of been looking after each other. Not
well,
you know, it all means that they don't have to worry about each other so much, is it? Yeah, they can focus on their competitors and concentrate on hitting their marks, getting the lines in. But yeah, Zach looks to have a pretty clean start. I can tell you though, he's had 2 off tracks so far in the session. But no, yeah, looking pretty tidy so far.
Have to stay with Kev for a bit until it sorts itself out. Mini pictures on the second feed.
Okay, let's get the next one.
George just in Kevin's ear. Just, and to get onto the back. That's Kroenke in front of him. Should still well and truly be in the draft, so get up there. Of course, the key spot for this series. Now the Porsche GB's got me all confused now. It's 8th place in this series, isn't it? You want the reverse grid 6th.
Yeah, I think I said 10th earlier, but yeah, as I was saying it, I was questioning myself in my mind. So yeah, I think 8 to say is correct. So yes, I mean Jeff Gassi and Zach Campbell in the hot seats at the minute for that reverse grid. So it's going to be a bit frantic, I dare say, in the closing laps as the bottom of the top 10 just start trying to all make their bid for those key spots on the grid for the future. Charlie Collins, incidentally, for Coanda has jumped ahead of Seb in the last lap or so. So the 2 of them, just
come on, Kev, let's go. But, should be easily able to get Kroenke, I think. Looking really good compared to him.
Campbell just chiming in a little bit, again giving him that little bit of motivation as let's close in a little bit. Refresh the overlay so we can get the gap chart to appear. Here we go, there we go. Like beta for you on the left hand side so we can see. Oh, that's Ostergaard, so let's actually swap it around as well. Ian head coming down. It's visibly come down now. We're right on his tail.
I think Lucas F. Martin's practiced.
Yeah, you're all in here, dude.
As we close off this season, Alex, we've got such a run of fantastic circuits, haven't we, to wrap up. Spa Francorchamps, obviously, always a favourite for the guys.
Take your time.
Next round's going to be Nordschleife, then Le Mans, and then Monza. I mean,
what a run!
What a final 4 rounds to finish up the 21 season, and yeah, absolutely. Really looking very, very status quo in the top 15 spots, isn't it? Alex, it's just this train the whole time, not really seeing anyone particularly shaping up to make a move. I say that, I see Seb looking pretty close on the back of Charlie Collins as they come through Blanchemont there, but I think not close enough that time to make a move. But yeah, it's just this train, so I wonder how much of it is biding their time until until things start to get a little bit more frantic at the end, or is there just not the opportunity to really make those moves and they're all just going to be stuck in each other's draft for the remainder of the laps?
Yeah, I mean, on the draft train, it's hard to say. I mean, the front few are going to certainly make some moves, but I think if you can sort of shove your nose up the inside, you might be able to try and make something happen anyway, Just upset the guy ahead a little bit. It's what we really need to see from Kev if we get this run on.
Keep it cool, man. Looking really good. There's good progress here.
George with the encouragement.
Yeah, and Jamie Fluke behind, battling with Aneke for 15th, and actually Fluke's just lost 2 spots, gone from 14th to 16th, just behind these guys. So Like you said, Alex, that tough start for Jamie there is really going to cost him. He's going to struggle, I think, now to get back ahead of those guys and try and make a claim for those top 10 positions.
Charlie Collins dropping. No, sorry, that's
No,
just no, yeah, that's just my bad. That is. Fiddling with the other one at the moment, like live tech support. See what we can do.
Well, the guys on track are trying to see what they can do as well. I can see Zach Campbell just dropping off a little bit.
Nice work, man. Keep the pressure on. You'll get it.
In the last
They're very close to the top four, so we might well get through to the reverse here.
Now he's more like 4 or 5 tenths back, and I dare say Johan Half behind him in 9th is just going to be getting a little bit on the itchy side of wanting to get a little bit of a hurry up from Zach Campbell and make sure that Kroenke ahead doesn't.
Big dive from Kev. Send.
Still there. Nice work.
Wow, I just see that on the slight delay on my side.
What a
from
move.
a long way back.
Let's go, dude. So you just need 2 more.
Yeah, difficult there, isn't it? You know, like George is talking about Kevin needing a couple of more drivers, you know, to get into that top 8. But 7th, 8th, 9th are all his teammates.
Yeah,
you know?
brilliant
It's
stuff,
how
mate.
do we? How
Get
do
head
we
down. Quali lap.
Yeah.
Let's get up to these boys.
It'll be interesting what sort of discussions the guys have had, you know, because Kevin can't send it on his own teammates. However, they might have had a bit of a chat about Kevin's championship position, currently 3rd in championship.
Yeah, maybe they'll let him have it.
And he might be able to send it, you know. If he sends it, they'll let him go, Pat. So we'll see. You know, they would have worked all of this stuff out in advance before the race, so there should be no surprises for the guys at all. Or if there is, then that's pretty, you know, yeah, a bit of an oversight. And I'm sure the guys have worked these sort of situations out, and so Kevin knows, and they know as well. Jamie going backwards 18th now as well, Alex. Two laps to go, or a lap and a half to go.
Trying to get you some Zach footage. Every time I bring him up, we just have freak out city. I think we might have sort of stabilised it a little bit now. That really focused moment.
I wonder if we're going to see Seb have a little bit of a look with a lead coming into the bus stop. He was a 10th down coming from Francorchamps, so we saw how far back Kevin came on on Kroenke last time round as well. But it looks like Collins did defend up front now, so I think the train is all just concertinaing together a little bit more now. I mean, Zach all of a sudden is just a couple of tenths back off Yassi, and I think we're going to see Collins and Job continuing to squabble and just affecting this whole train all the way back to Kevin pretty much really. And I think we're going to see in this final lap, Alex, it's going to kick off. I don't think the guys are going to be staying in the same position that's starting now. One move up ahead is going to happen, and it's going to carry on for everyone. Zach Campbell missed the apex going up to
he didn't get the run he wanted at all there, did he?
No.
Have a little look. Close. Sort of having a little look on my other screen at Kevin as well. He's just obviously struggling to get the draft, and he's got a bit, but as much as he wanted. I think we expected this massive draft train here. You know, the guys know you don't have to be absolutely on pace here because the draft is going to pull you up ahead.
Yeah, but I did think with this draft train that we might get, so a few more of those sort of moves like we saw Kevin make. Everyone feels like they're just about within reach, and I thought we'd get the odd move here and there. But it's apart from Kevin making that progress, nobody else has managed it in the top 10. They've all just continued where they finished up lap 1 pretty much. But this is when it gets crunch time now. Job did get ahead of Collins at some point in that lap. I missed it. I guess it was probably into Lacoon. So yeah. Job did get Collins and he's gapping him, so I think that's looking reasonably comfortable straight away now for Job.
Sorry Ryan, this is Spa as well, someone on the chat, and it's worth pointing out as well guys, is we're just your narrators for this race, just kind of letting you kind of know what's going on, but while we're listening in to the guys with their point of view streams and things like that. If you want any questions of us, we'll try and feed you as much information as we can without giving away the game.
And it's so heading to crunch time now as they all thunder down towards a bus stop. Collins isn't going to be close enough unless he has a big old send on Job. Let's see if we've got much fanning out going into the bus stop. There's a little bit between Sanchez and Bootslip maybe.
Maybe having a little left one. on yeah, good Zach. Yeah, Zach had a little chuckle about that. Yeah, good job guys. Take that. Zach happy with that, having a little clap about that. Let's have a little listen in, see what Kev says.
Yeah, awesome first lap. You saw what happened in Montreal. You've banked some good points there, and the rest of the grid will be much more broken up in the second race. So you're going to have an opportunity. Good job from the Apex boys, anyway. Everyone's nice job there.
Definitely happy, given in the
Sebi got the win, Alejandro P3, Jeff P7, Zach P8, Johan P9, you were P10,
really was the
Bennett
only
who
guy
started
making progress
P19, only made it up to 14,
everyone else
started 16th and made it up to 6th place,
and
10th. And Bennett was basically the next car behind you
doing our
after
job
turn 1.
for us and telling us...
So you were making your way.
Giving us the rundown of the order. So I'll take that.
I'll leave them to it then.
Yeah, thanks George. Yeah, no, we've cut away now.
Taking it back at it now.
But yeah, I'd say Kevin really was the only man who managed to do anything right, and nobody else managed to move forward at all. So, cracking job from Kevin, even though he was far from the highest finishing RL or ART driver. The main thing was that they all managed to keep it clean. So we saw those instances at the start. We saw the Quando guys go backwards, and I did see other instance later on in the race as well. And so apart from just Jamie just struggling a little bit off the start and then losing a few more spots during the race, I think everyone else did a solid job.
Are you able to have a little look back and see kind of what happened on the Rogers issue? Yeah.
We are heading to investigate as we speak. Young. Oh yeah, it was. It looks like it was all De Jong. So they come out of Lacoum, round the medium speed right-hander where you go up, get on the curb on the left. Rogers looked to defend on the inside initially, but then moved back to his racing line with plenty of space. De Jong cut back to the right and lost the rear under braking. So I don't think he was going for a move. I think he just moved right, trying to check where he was, make sure he hadn't lost his brake marker. Had missed it, I guess, stamped on the brake, lost the rear, and rear-ended Rogers from the lead. So yeah, De Jong took the two of them out from the lead, and 100% De Jong on that one. It wasn't, although I was describing Rogers sort of moving around a little bit, it was absolutely perfectly fine.
And I think this is the problem when you have so many cars in close proximity, and you're kind of like teammates. I mean, you're competitive, you want to race hard. And had they been in separate teams, the same thing kind of would have happened anyway. But you're always going to look at it a bit different when it's teammates getting into each other, isn't it? But yeah, that's where the balance needs to come, and that's what we try and balance as well, don't we? In terms of how many drivers do we actually want in this series, so that you want them to be able to help each other. But you also don't want them tripping over each other just because there's so many. So I don't think it would be too controversial for me to say. I think Lando certainly got a lot. Probably too many. I mean, we've been in this exact same position perhaps 3 or 4 years ago. Do you remember when everyone was moaning about us?
Yeah.
Because we had too many drivers in like the Pro Series and things like that, and like I think had they all got through, we'd have had like 16 drivers or something like that, and it was a problem. I will point out that was academy drivers back then, not actual 14 drivers. But it was an issue during the races because they were to some extent tripping over each other, trying not to do that, and it was kind of checking them all up rather than just getting on with it, doing what they need to do. I think that was kind of what we saw there. Had they just been like, wow, just gonna go for it.
It's kind of what I was saying. It's kind of what I was saying earlier, wasn't it? When I was talking about if Kevin wanted to send it on someone, like they need to have had that discussion. So the problem when it's teammates is, the car ahead is going, oh, is he going to send it on me? And then is he going to expect me to let him go or not? And then the car behind is thinking, I need to get past. Is he going to let me by? Is he not? And because it's not just a normal competitor, you can just get yourself tied up in knots, right? And so that's why communication is so important, whether it's pre-race planning and having your race meeting and making sure everybody understands, what the situation is, points for different people, what they need out the session and how to treat everyone, or whether it's them being in voice chat live during the race and being able to to call out to each other or whatever. Like I say, that dynamic, exactly as you described, becomes so tricky otherwise.
Yeah, obviously we're into the 5-minute intermission, the warm-up that the guys have. What I think we'll do actually, we'll head over to our partners, Virtual Racing School, and we'll give them a quick little shout out. Of course, Apex Racing Academy partnered with VRS, and so obviously we have all our own exclusive data packs that are available through our own website, but of course we partnered with them to use their telemetry service as well. So all of the great tools that are over at VRS are you can access those through our own exclusive data packs, which I'm quite proud that we were able to get that package together with those guys there. And there are a whole bunch of add-ons that you can buy directly on the Virtual Racing School website as well. So if you fancy, some tin tops and you want some GTEs, then you can get a PT pack over there. But if you kind of want absolutely everything we do, then we do kind of an eat all you can package, a silver package over in the academy. But yeah, let me get some love for VRS. We'll let David Williams just explain what they're all about.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Raul Falla.
And Raul Falla is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Racing team and Rahul Litterman Lanigan team stream. Say that, but we are really focusing on Kevin and Zach for this week, and yeah, we'll be getting the other 3 guys all back hopefully next week. But yeah, thank you to our partners, Virtual Racing School. There looks like Zach can bring it off the circuit. Yeah. Kev for a second as his screen goes dark. I just wanted to check in with him. I don't know if you guys can see it. He's tiny little webcam window there that he's got as well. So he's got a nice little bit of signage board in the background. I think that turned out pretty goodly.
It does look good. If it's as well, I saw him trying to adjust it and you know, get the angles right and get it how he needed to be. But no, I think yeah, it's going to tick the box. A bit of lighting on it, make sure it's visible, and be good to go.
Yes, we're just obviously we're just waiting for a few people to finish up. 20 seconds left. George tuning in on Twitch. Thank you very much, George. Obviously Zach on the pole, first grid pole then for this one. So it's pretty much all season long. This is where Kevin sort of found himself. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. How Zach deals with that, what's going to happen with the likes of Job and you know, crew coming through like Sanchez. They're all going to be kind of quick trying to force their way through. They've just missed out on that top 8 spot, so he's going to have to kind of follow them through the best he possibly can. Right, let's turn on those mics, listen into the guys, and we will yeah, see how this start goes.
Sound resumed.
Yeah, I think Kron, give him like half a second back, mate. It's the yeah, it's like the maddest move I've ever made. I didn't.
Talking about
I sort of meant
move.
it, but
Yeah, no pace. Couldn't even keep up in draft.
yeah, he was really holding me up. Anyway, I'm thinking if I can try and get ahead of you here and drag you through if you want.
Yeah,
I'll try and create some space. Kind of what we've done last.
Some little tactics there being talked about. That was Kev trying to say that he's going to try and get through on Johan quite quickly and just pull him through if he can. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you guys think, obviously, in terms that are watching. Obviously, this is something a bit different. It's not a normal broadcast. We're trying to give a little bit more insight, so hopefully you find this
Revs the building.
more useful. Here we go then. Once Zach get that start nailed. Or a little bob down from Zach. Don't see anyone on his left. Yeah, there it is. There's a car on the left.
Yeah, it's Jeff. And he's through, so yeah, Zach 1, Jeff 2 still, and then it's the gaggle of commanders behind who are going to try and get past Jeff in the mirrors.
Yeah, gonna launch in. Even see who races these cars in real life.
Not sure, I'm afraid. Jeff very wide off the top of the region, the mirrors. He's going to lose out now, I think, to Guven.
Stay with Kev for a moment. Yeah, Guven definitely getting the run.
Yeah.
Ball into the braking zone. I think he's going to hold on to this, is he? Up the inside. Oh, that is an absolute send and a half. So, yeah, Zach
and big
recovered.
contact behind. Huge accident all the way through. My whole timing screen is just lit up. Giassi got caught up in that. Zach Campbell's got to slow down.
Zach's got to slow down, hasn't he? Yeah. And you know what these are like.
What
on
I
the
tell you
first
about
lap.
Anton?
They never. I'm going to cut away from Zach just in case he says something there. He was not happy.
I think it'd be deserved if he does.
Yeah,
no,
he was not happy with that, and he absolutely threw it in. He couldn't make the corner at all.
No,
so yeah, it's not
near.
good. Not good. And of course, what that's done is completely reversed the order around. So we've got Sanchez up front. Seb's got already through there. So has Collins. So Yeah, a bit of a mess that start. Something for the stewards to look at. There's no live stewards in this series. It'll all be post-race penalties. It doesn't help the guys, obviously, that do get shuffled backwards. But yeah, there's Kevin just poking his nose the inside of Tommy Ostergaard there.
So from Guven making that send, he also took his team out.
Just try and keep
He's also out of race.
Just while we're listening. So Johan's actually jumped into this channel as well. So we'll be listening to what Johan's saying as well. Makes sense that they're in there together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Possibly a move coming on here. This is what Kevin's talking about. Tommy looks like he's going for Johan on the outside.
Yeah.
Tiny little bit of contact, but all fair. Kevin just opened up the corner, trying to get a bit of a run off. Oh no, he's not. There's somebody up the inside. Yeah, so Max connected.
Fuck's sake, man.
Oh, there goes Kev. Yeah, left to fight back at that one.
Well, if you can see if I was pointed dead to the left, I need to write my appeal mid-race here.
And Steb and Alejandro up front. Exchanging positions, Steb stability back up front.
So Zach, he managed to he slowed down.
He did very well to come out of that only in fourth.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah,
Jesus,
I mean, I didn't really have anything I could do there or anything. So. Oh well.
Not sure what Chris was saying to Zach there. I think he's perhaps just reviewing the incident.
Well, that was expected with him.
Zach talking about writing his appeal or his protest.
I don't want to like personally call him out. God, he did. I think he did the exact same thing in Pro Q and caused the exact same crash there. So.
Zach talking about apparently it's not the first time that this kind of incident has happened between the two drivers on the first lap there. So same thing happened in Pro Q. Yeah, so a bit of frustration. Let's listening to Kev, see if he's calmed down after making through one up the inside of him.
Kev's got Alejandro and Charlie with him, so he's not going to get away, I don't think.
Just watch Benecchio and he's probably going to end up killing someone.
Of course, we've got
as he normally does.
Worrying about what Max is going to do here. Oh, send from Kev! Have at it!
I'm not sure how entirely planned that was. It did not look set up at all. It looked more of an avoidance manoeuvre on Benecchio, didn't it? But fortunately they came out all fine. He's under pressure now from Lafuente behind. Lafuente back top. Oh, he's gone again.
Yeah, Kev's got to be careful here. I cut away from it a little bit. Let me just. I've got to mute Kev for a second here because I think he's particularly chilled at the moment. Definitely race driver adrenaline kicking in right now. And I think everyone can attest to being in a very, very similar mindset in the heat of the moment.
Zach just lost a spot to Tommy on the run to Lacombe.
Yeah, Tommy looking good then. Got some pace, able to make a couple of cars paces.
The leaders are going at it hard as well. Alejandro and Seb still just banging door handles all the way through Lacombe.
Not sure why there's such a gap actually between Zach and the top three, because he was right on them earlier on when we were.
Yeah, he must have had a little error during that lap.
Everyone wants me to unmute. Just have a listen.
Sound resumed.
losing a little bit of ground on this lap. When I say that, it's
looking at the timing table again for Jeff Yassi, say starting from what, second on the grid, right down in 30th, still trying to run around.
Yeah, I don't know what happened for Jeff. He was right there.
First, has to be in behind.
I saw it in the mirrors of Zach. So when Zach came back on, I think Jeff just tried to not run into him and got run into himself, and or lost control himself. But it was obviously just from recovery as Zach kind of come back on track again. Jamie's still a little bit in no man's land as well, 14th. Not really looking like he's able to make any progress at the minute.
4 spots.
So yeah, really it's Zach, Johan and Kevin who are able to be at the sharp end still for now. Like I say, Zach's pace looked really strong in the first sort of lap and a half or so, even after the incident, but he's just dropping away from Tommy now as well.
Wonder if he's got damage.
Tommy made that move.
Yeah,
true.
Because he doesn't look like he's even able to gain any time in a straight line. So I wonder if Zach's struggling with some damage there.
Yeah, let me explore and report that.
We're having a listen in with Zach. Seems to be a little bit more chilled channel at the minute.
Yeah, Zach has got significant rear damage.
Yeah.
Visual, anyway.
Yeah, so I imagine probably we can see Benek send one on him as well. Not a peep coming out of him or his spotter, Eric. Yeah, you can visibly even see just in the straight line. You just cannot keep up with Ostergaard. So,
and Beneke's gains 2/10 on him on the straight.
Yeah.
So not much you can do. Like I say, the train really is what's saving Zach at the minute. You know, being able to be in the slipstream the whole time. Without that, he'd be really under pressure. But I think unfortunately once Max makes a move on him, then I dare say Zach will get shuffled down a little bit more. And looks like Alejandro is the one under pressure this time. Up ahead as Collins makes a double move. Collins challenging for the lead as well as he gets through. He does. Collins went from third to first, just down Camel Straight.
Just goes to show if you have a little lift or anything down that straight, the way the draft is at the moment, you're going to be struggling. Switch over to Kev. Was a bit nervous. To go. It's not going to take long around Spa. That's the thing, is it's such a long track, even though we were essentially, what, a 40-minute race. Laps in tick by at Spa as well. have a bit of time to breathe.
Absolutely.
I mean,
like I said, we're just in that middle phase now, aren't we? Where they're just all having a little bit of a breather after the frantic start. As Sanchez struggles a little bit through bus stop. Zach might get a little bit of a run if he's lucky into source.
Yeah, I think Kev was saying sorry there for giving Johan a little bump through the middle of the corner. Got a 4x. Kind of almost got him to have to run.
I'm at 9.
And Sanchez and Oscar are going to try and run side by side as they go through a Rouge. He's going to lift Oscar, takes the sensible measure and has a big lift. Let's see if Zach can do anything with it as they come up the top. No, he can't, and he's under pressure from Beneke, so Zach is about to get mugged by Beneke. Johan is right there with Beneke as well, so I dare say Zach's going to lose these couple of spots now. He might even let Kevin go with his damage, we'll see. No, he doesn't.
Hold it around the
Tries to hang in there. Oh, leader off. Charlie Collins off. Took the escape route. Ended up just completely skipping the corner. We'll see what kind of slowdown he gets. Here he is on the right. 2 spots, 3 spots, 4 spots. Yeah, so many spots lost for Collins. Down to 10th, 9th. And that looked all on his own as well. Seb wasn't with him, I don't think. So he just lost the break all on his own. Big mistake because he was looking very strong after making that move a lap ago.
I was just going to stay with it.
So yeah, after all that, actually say Beneke only gained that 1 spot, and Zach actually did stay in front of Johan and Kev. I did think Johan looked close enough to follow him through, but I was surprised actually that Zach hung with Beneke as well as he did right up into the braking zone. I thought it was just going to have to slot straight back in.
Let's see what those guys are thinking.
You want to go, Johan? You want to go? Switch?
Want to go what?
Switch, and I'll try and pull us through. I'm going after Beneke, mate, honestly. I'm not finishing behind him.
Kev got the bit between his teeth. He wants Beneke. So he's going to come through here, I think. See a bit
he sent it on Johan in the mirrors. Yeah, straight through. So yeah, so let's say Johan just allowed him that spot, and I dare say Zach will oblige as well with his damage, and like I say, try and give Kevin a chance to challenge those top 5. Oh, and Zach just outbrakes himself into the source as well, so that actually didn't really help Kevin because he had to back out of it as well, and it just means they've all lost that little bit more time to Beneke, more than half a second down there with Zach.
Little listen, see if anyone jumps in to tell Zach.
Yeah. I mean, Kev's half a second down on Zach though, so he's not really going to be close enough.
Now, yeah.
So yeah, this is not a great couple of corners. We've lost 7 tenths to Beneke. Kevin's half a second down on Zach. So they're squabbling ahead though, so we're going to close straight back up again.
Yeah, look at that. Straight there through looking. That's the thing, isn't it? You lose so much time when you fight through that corner.
Yeah. It's actually kind of pretty manageable to go side by side through that. That's a strange thing. Like I say, you lose a lot of time, but it's kind of not one of these corners where you should never go side by side through there. Like, with the switchback, you can do it for sure. But as you said, there goes 4 tenths or something. But yeah, okay. So that didn't take long to sort itself out again, but it just means, say, Kev was having to wait for the bus stop probably for an opportunity to get by on Zach. Just checking in on the others again. Jeff Piassi's still down in 29th, so he's only gained 1 spot when I looked 2 laps ago. Jamie Fluke 15th, so again he's only gained a 1 spot as well. He's actually got Josh Rogers and Mitchell de Jong right behind him now as Jamie Fluke, so both coming through trying to recover. Yeah, so let's see how organised they are on this one. Let's say, is it going to be the same sort of thing as we saw a lap before? How's that going to pan out with the time that they're going to lose to Beneke? Is Kev going to come out of it half a second down? Doesn't look like there's going to be any squabbling ahead on this run. They're all going to continue through single file. So Beneke's closed a bit on Oscar with the Blanchemont, to be fair. Kev's not really close enough again.
No, it's going to take him, I think, to at least, well, maybe Lacombe this one, depends on how much of a run Yeah. But Zach seems to have struggled coming out of hairpin here. Through over. Oh, give around!
Oh,
what
no.
happened there? Did he lose that?
It wasn't contact with Zach because I was on board with Zach. I didn't see any contact there. I think he must have got tagged from behind. I am going back to investigate. That is a real shame for Kevin. He has such a strong position in
a little bit on the rear
going into to this race, and
5
yeah,
laps left, huge damage on ahead. So just keep your head in it, just keep going.
He's going to be absolutely limping it around. Let's see what happens.
P18.
Yeah, he got hit behind from. Oh, it was Johan, of course. Johan tagged him. Did Johan get tagged himself? Let's see. Johan got hit himself, so we're continuing on. So it was Charlie Collins. Yeah,
there's nothing Johan
Charlie
could do there.
Collins back in 8.
Saw it coming
tagged Johan. That sent Johan into Kevin. Kevin went out.
Charlie driving a fucking dipstick yet again.
And Charlie Collins ended up mugging Johan as well. So
yeah, Kevin's saying it as it is.
Yeah, well, I think without hearing what Kevin says, I agree with him because yeah, it looked pretty bad there. I'm afraid Collins was a long way back from Johan as well. It wasn't like he was right on his bumper. Then there were 2 in the top 10. That was it. Zach Campbell 5th, Johan Half 7th. Jamie's obviously gained a spot now up to 14th. Kev's down in 18th, and yeah, Jeff still actually last of the runners. Actually, it looks like 29th. So yeah, so what lap 1 Zach gets taken out by Guven. Lap 8 Kev gets taken out by Collins.
Yeah, it's not good.
I dare say, you know, from how strong a qualifying Coanda had, taking out, you know, what, 8 of the top 10. I wonder if there's a bit of desperation. You know, we had them taking each other out, De Jong taking Rogers out. You know, we've had Guven taking Zach out and Collins taking Kevin out. I mean, that's, yeah, there's kind of coincidence and just kind of unfortunate randomness, but that smells of them desperately trying to make up for the fact that you know, the event hasn't quite gone the way they expected from how confident they probably were going to qualifying. Move up ahead from Benet.
Yeah, you make those rash moves, don't you, then? That's the thing.
It's easy done. Yeah, for sure. It's such fine margins the guys are running on, but yeah, it's just had such a huge impact on our race.
Tommy.
And Zach,
get in there.
Zach trying to think
send it! Go on! Have them off! Have them both off!
Oh, there you go.
No, go on, Zach, get in there!
Okay.
This might not end too well for us, though, if we're not careful.
And Zach actually backed out of that pretty early on that one. Took the sensible measure.
What's he saying? Started listening. Should just leave the mic.
I get Tommy's got to defend his spot, but Jesus Christ. He is playing with fire.
Zach talking about him playing with fire. Yeah, he's right. Will hold no prisoners at all. He'll absolutely bump
a little
him.
bit here. You know, before we get down to the chicane.
Rough, hard racing. I don't mean just full on, just send, you know, off gone. But,
no, like he won't. Like I say, he won't back out of the corner. He won't lift anyone. It's the kind of the center mentality, right? You know, you kind of train people up over the years to understand that hey, you can put yourself in that position. I don't mind at all. You know, as long as you understand, I'm still taking the corner, mate. You know, and then lo and behold, people end up having to take a sensible view of it, and you get the position, you know. That's what we're on. 2 to go.
Yeah, Let's see what happens this time, because Tommy's not going to have any draft, I think.
No, they've dropped a long, long way back now. Yeah, 2 seconds back from Sanchez
right in the
after
middle of
swapping.
something here as well. Who's he got? Rogers.
Yeah, De Jong.
Rogers ahead,
Yeah.
De Jong and Backham. Oh yeah, he's right in the mix. He really needs Kevin to help him out. Yeah, that is whatever damage Zach picked up. He just cannot take Eau Rouge like he used to.
And,
It's just like he's lost some downforce.
Yeah, and Kroenke looked to have a move on Zach. No, sorry, looking at the wrong card. Charlie Collins, sorry, looking to have a move on Zach. But actually, I dare say, from his contact earlier, getting involved, he backed out of it way, way early. And Charlie, I thought Collins, looked like he was going to make a pretty comfortable move, but he just completely backed out of it.
Well, he's already nerfed 2 of our cars, so
Yeah, I think that was his. A little bit of guilt.
Maybe it was. Yeah, maybe Phil was like, "Please don't hit another Apex car." I'll have Alex. I'll have Alex message me on Discord later. You're right. I would. WTF? What's going on? Did you paint a target on our cars?
I've been really impressed with Sanchez in the feature. He's, like you said, I mean, you got the train, you got the draft, so it's difficult to break away. But he's been absolutely with Seb, whole race. And although we might be wise to settle for second in the end, he's gonna give him a run for his money for that win the whole way through. And I mean, he's 10th and a half back as a comfortable optional.
If I'm brutally honest, I will put Seb and Rogers.
Here he goes.
Just above everyone else. Go on, Tommy, send it again.
A little bump from Zach on Osgard.
Shoot.
I think Tommy will get the spot back, so no harm, no foul.
Yeah, Zach's happy with that as well.
It was such slow apex speed from Tommy because of the position he had to take, and because he.
Collins up the inside.
Yeah, having a few. And because Osgard kind of made a half move, he went up the inside, but never got completely alongside. He just had to back out of it even more, and just such an unexpected apex speeds. Graham Carroll's made a good recovery in this race, +7 up to 9th now, just made a spot on Kroenke behind the spell.
Yeah, got a lot of moves. Sanchez to the front,
yeah.
Tell
probably a bit early.
PM Charlie here down the backstretch, thumb high on instance.
I wonder if Seb kind of forced him to have it almost,
If you just, sorry, you wouldn't have heard that, but Zach saying that he's high on incidents at the moment as well, so he's asking. I think he's asking Demerit just to message Charlie and just sort of say, look, let's take it easy.
So I'm just trying to finish.
Yeah, I think he's almost willing to concede the position actually at this point, just because he wants to.
Wait now.
He wants to save. He wants to finish more than anything.
As well. Kev's got 13
instants. The backstretch.
Instant
high on ink.
So they're both in an action-packed race,
Yeah, I don't know what the incident count is, like as in
17. According to the sim, it's saying 13 out of 17. So yeah.
Because this is about to get ugly up here.
So like I say, one 4x for either of them, and that's it.
Right here.
We're just orchestrating that change. Let's just have a quick look, see what Kevin's doing. He's on the tail of.
He's got ahead of Jamie.
Yeah, and he's on the tail of Backham, isn't he? So
yeah.
We'll just quickly switch back actually, because I think we'll see Collins just slide up the inside. No, he doesn't go through.
No.
Final lap. And we should be able to hold on to 6th position. What we really need is to just to throw one up the inside of Campbell somewhere. Sorry, Collins.
And Johan just lost the spot behind to Graham Carroll as he continues his recovery.
Give Graham his due. What traffic? You have to do that in Porsche GB. He's doing it again
I don't know
today.
if that was a flash of, oh, okay, 10-4 Bud, or if that was a flash of...
Seb Sanchez, yeah.
Oh, it's a flash of Matt.
And here comes Collins this time on Zach. Zach on the inside going to Licombe. Yeah, and he just, just kind of hung in there a little bit, but he didn't fight back too hard, exactly like you said, just trying to make sure he stayed safe. Oscar's still all over the back of Beneke up ahead though.
Yeah, Tommy's not one to give in without a fight. Got the draft, so he should be able to do it. So now the interesting thing is for me is will Zach be able to hold on to this top 6, or will Thomas be able to get a run? Ooh. Zach was a bit second there.
Yeah, same. That must have been on Zach's same side, exactly the same drop. Yeah.
Kevin not really looking to make any moves on Pack, although he is at the front of that Pack, so might be able to get a run into the bus stop. Know kind of what it is like. Stay with Zach for a moment, and then we'll swap over.
Seb's looking fairly comfortable up front. 3-4 attempts as they come onto the back straight.
Yeah, I missed my point earlier on that I was saying about Seb and Rogers just being a touch above everyone else.
Yeah.
But I think then you have Sanchez right behind them, just above everybody else as well. I think those three definitely have, perhaps Sanchez 10th over the rest of the field, which are very, very tight. Maybe Mitchell in that group as well, and then Rogers and Seb seem to be like a little cut above. Right,
Oscar tries to hang around the outside of Beneke up ahead, can't quite do it. No contacts for Zach.
How did we make it through there with only...
we missed the move from Kev. Kev sent it.
Yeah.
He's got it. No, he hasn't. Mac fights back around the outside
job,
in the Lego car.
Tough one there, mate. Tough one.
Yeah, good race.
Really well done.
We need to group up for McKelly, remember?
Yeah, parade lap, boys. I'll jump in, just make sure Zach remembers.
Right, let's actually...
He does.
Let's do this.
Jamie's there. Yeah, you're good. Just gonna...
mute the chat. I don't think we're all going to jump in. It'd be nice if they all jumped on TeamSpeak channel, actually. But let's just quickly go to an outboard shot. Both cars.
Just watching that move from Backham on Kevin off the corner there. Backham went way off the circuit on the outside to make that move on Kevin, and Kevin didn't squeeze him at all. It's suspect in my opinion. It'd be interesting to see what kind of implications there might be for protests on that, because to me that was an overtake made off the circuit.
Right, here we go then, guys. Yeah, great tribute lap for the guys here as well. I'm not sure I want to go into full detail about exactly what it is, but everyone would have seen Kevin's post, so the team is driving with a bit of a heavy heart today, and yeah, they've all got together to do a bit of a tribute lap in honour. Stay with us. We'll mute our mics, mate, and just pay our respects, I think, just while this is going on. Right, we're back. Yeah, great tribute the guys did there. Right, on that note, what we'll do, we'll quickly head to a break. Hopefully we can get some of the guys in for a little chat. None of them should be talking to iRacing on the official broadcast. So
unfortunately not.
No. So hopefully we can have a little chat with them. So right, we will be back in just a short second. And so we are back here for the post-race show. Let's see if we can get any of the guys for interviews as well. Poke them to see if we can get them.
So yeah, like as we were saying, really, Alex, not quite the feature we were hoping for. You know, the guys had a strong start to it. You know, having the 4 cars there in the top 10 for pretty much the whole race, looking like we might be able to get something going. But just luck of a draw wasn't with us today with the various car contacts, and it was quite an instant-packed race. Like I said, there was a lot of contacts that we saw even on our view through a number of different cars throughout the field. Really, it was kind of a little bit surprising on such a big open track like Spa that everybody knows so well to have issues like, you know, outbreaking yourself and stuff. It was a shame to spoil the feature a little bit, but overall, you know, Zach got himself some points, Johan got himself some points. Yeah, we had decent results in the sprint, so not an awful event by any means.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, I think Kev will be a bit disappointing because obviously he was right there, and again, he's just had solid results all season long. Just a bit of a silly move, unfortunately, that kind of cost us. So yeah. Talking of Kev, we've got him here.
Hello. How we doing?
Snuck in, didn't even hear. This is what happens on streamer mode on Discord. No alerts to come in the channel.
Yeah, I don't want to come in and start talking over these. Yeah, disappointing day all in all. I mean, yeah, didn't do a great job in qualifying at all, and then Charlie just drove in at the back of Johan, and that put Johan at the back of me. Nothing Johan could have done there.
Yeah, I mean, we were listening, so we knew what you thought of the incident.
Yeah, it's a shame, really. It's a shame. You know, there's quite a few guys that just keep doing the same things week in, week out, and yeah, I mean,
Kev, I tell you what, I'll be the sort of a bit of the controversial one as well. It's a shame to see it generally through the grid, right?
Yeah.
These guys are meant to be the best of the best, and honestly, it looks like a Class D race most races that we watch. You know, like Montreal was awful. You know, like you shouldn't be running into the back. I understand there's a great draft on this car, and people are trying to make moves and stuff like that. But they shouldn't be stuffing it into the back of the competitors like we've seen this season. It has been really, really poor. You know,
it's just clumsy. It's really, really clumsy. You know, I mean, like at this point, it's race 7 of the year. You know, people know what to expect going into slow corners. There's going to be stack ups, and especially when you're in Charlie's position, where you're 7th or 8th in line, it's always going to come. You know that it's going to happen 10 times out of 10. You know, I mean, we were all teammates all in one big line, and we didn't run through the back of each other. And you know, ultimately, I think some people need to just take a chill pill. I know it's Charlie's first year and whatever else, but you know, this is my 5th season doing this now. I've seen a lot over the years, and this season has been one of the worst driving displays I've ever seen. Some of the moves that happen are just, I don't know whether it's a lack of respect or just sheer clumsiness. It's just, yeah, it's madness.
It's something that I like to talk about, like when I was doing like the touring car championship and talking to the guys and stuff like that. They're just not driving with the big picture in mind. I mean, he made the mistake, he dropped back, and then of course, like he's just gung ho to try and make places back up. So he's just doing stupid stuff. But of course, all he's done is pushed himself further back, or he's got himself a penalty. So it's eventually that's going to bite him on the butt, and he's going to have grid penalties and things like that. I mean, I personally think that this series needs to take a leaf out of the book from the Porsche GB and be like 10-second penalty and stuff like that. Because it's far too lenient as it is right now.
I mean, every single
stuff
driver
like that, you're going to get 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and stuff like that. They need to do that. This is it will calm this down somewhat. This whole kind of like, oh, you'll get some points. Maybe you'll get a grid penalty, in 4 races time. It's just nonsense.
I mean, every single driver can get, I believe, I think 16's a Q ban. So you can literally get 3 free hits per driver per season. And when you account that there's 40 drivers on the grid, that becomes a lot of accidents with absolutely no repercussions whatsoever. And I mean, even the guys that play it clean, I can go into the last round with a 4X and I can go and annihilate 2 people and I'll get nothing because I don't go over the Q ban threshold, which then in the last round will result in a points penalty. So there's absolutely no repercussions for doing this kind of stuff, when you consider I finished 5 seconds behind Charlie after he shunted us out the way, a 5 or a 10 second, a 5-second penalty would put me ahead of him by like 200ths of a second or 500ths of a second or something. So yeah, I mean, I think post-race penalties need to happen. We've spoken about it for years and it's never happened, and I think it's about time. This is, I'm really at my wit's end with the driving standards in this series. It's just getting ridiculous now.
And of course, it is in a league now as well. Like I understand, like iRacing couldn't do it when it was in a official series because it's kind of like the iRating is a closed loop system,
things a bit.
So you can't really just go in there and do that. But of course, it's not now. It's in a league. It doesn't matter. You can go in there and do these penalties and things like that. That's that was the excuse before for not doing it. So yeah,
we thought this was the whole point for league formats. When we heard it was going to league formats, we hadn't gotten the rule book yet, so we thought, oh, they're going to be doing post race penalties, and then we get the rule book out and it's, oh no, it's still 4Xs, blah blah blah, and it's like, well, we've spoken about it for the last 2 years of this series that they don't work, and they keep electing to introduce it, and I really don't understand why. There's so many different systems that they could implement that would be better than this. The only thing I will say is that the update with the rear front to rear contact, that was better because I didn't get my rear wheels lifted off the ground.
Okay, good.
But I still spun, so I mean, it doesn't really matter.
That just says how much of a nerf you got,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when the only positive I can take is that my car didn't go on 2 wheels when I got hit is pretty bad. So, I mean, we'll take it and we'll move on. I mean, Zach and Johan still get good results today, and Rob's on the podium. That's good. So
I was about to say you got good points in the first race as well. Of course, I know you would have wanted to keep this sort of rich form running. With your sort of your top 5s and stuff like that, you've pretty much had all season apart from Barcelona, I think it was. So,
basically, yeah.
But I guess who did you?
I finished ahead of Mitchell. I mean,
Mitchell
had a really bad day.
I was just looking for where Mitchell was as well. Yeah, so
well, he was ahead of me with 2 laps to go, and he missed the chicane, so he ended 25th, and he was sitting 14th. So he's scored 1 point today, which is good for me. Obviously, Rogers had a bit of a bad day, but he had such a big lead, it doesn't really matter. I don't really know what the points are. I'm trying to not look at them this season, but I know that Charlie and Seb were the next 2 behind me, so it's everything for second is kind of closed up, which I guess is good. Yeah. Good for the viewers. A bit tough for me, but I mean, I feel like in the race I drove well. The sprint race I had a bit of fun. I sent Martin from way too far back, and thanks to him for giving me the space there. I had to kind of go for everything I could there. But yeah, in the feature, just a bit kind of stuck, and then eventually the inevitable happened, which I knew it would. I mean, we'd done test races, we knew this was going to happen. Unfortunately, I was on the receiving end of it this week. you know, we'll move forward to Nords and hopefully resolve it there.
Cool. Well, let's have before you go, actually, just a nice little signage board you got in the background.
Yeah, can you see it? Is the lighting okay? I
Well,
wasn't sure. I know
the lighting's terrible, Kev, but we can see it. We can see it.
I would get my phone torch, but it's away.
That's the main thing.
It's away behind there. Yeah, I've not even made the bed, so it's a good thing it's there.
Oh yeah,
because I haven't made
positive all around then.
It's just helped you be that little bit lazier then. Oh, good to know.
Yeah, exactly.
It was worth the trip to Edinburgh to go pick it up then.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Got a couple hours out the house, got to see Pete, so yeah, it was all good. Yeah, no, it looks good. It's just makes life a bit more awkward trying to get out my room to go somewhere, but nah, I mean it looks pretty good. We'll keep it around for the last 3 rounds, and then we'll see what comes after that.
Cool. Well, let's have a quick chat with your teammate who had interesting meeting as well. Welcome, Zach.
Yeah.
I mean, talk me through the sprint. That sprint. Sprint looked a bit chaotic, but you managed to avoid the sort of the mayhem that was kind of going on, and then just sort of settled up. I think because you knew you were in a good position for reverse grid.
Yeah, the sprint was so boring for me. I was so glad. I just sat there in 8th place the whole time once Mitchell and Josh had whatever issue they had, and yeah, I mean, genuinely just stayed there the whole race. I was trying to like almost hold Johan back and leave a bit of a gap to Jeff so he wouldn't have a checkup, and just try and play that right, which we ended up doing anyways, and just kind of rode in the same spot the whole sprint race. I mean, it was nice and boring, which calm in the series means you're doing something right. So I was pretty happy with that.
I mean, totally opposite in the feature. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you got absolutely sent on. In Lacoon.
Well,
not for the first time we hear, by the sound of what you were saying. It's not the first time that lead's been sent on you by the same driver.
I mean, it happens. Basically, yeah. I mean, it started on the start because like I felt like I was pretty good on the start because now they got clutch heat in these cars now, so you can really burn them up, and so we couldn't do them like the old way. Yeah, I just released the clutch too early because I'm using a foot clutch, a proper one. And so I just rolled out of it too soon, and it just bogged off the line. And to like clear enough myself on Jeff coming out of the corner. And then yeah, I mean it's hard for me to blame my engine, like because when looking at it, from my mirror, I just see him toss it 3 wide on the first lap, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. But I mean, I think genuinely, looking back at it, I don't think it was that bad a move. Honestly, it's just a product of the racing we have. I mean, I didn't get a very good run off of turn 1 because of the start, and so it checks Jeff up, which checks him up, but they're able to get runs at the top of Radion and leading up there. So it's just what we got to deal with. I mean, he took a hole, which you can argue, oh, it's lap 1 or whatever. But there was a little bit of netcode, and there wasn't really anything I think any of us could do. I think it would have worked out if there wasn't netcode. So,
I mean, I have to say, I called it that. I thought he was just going to run you off the road. Had you stuck outside?
And sorry to interrupt. I'm just watching. I'm just watching the replay back, and for the first time for me and Alex, we realised that actually, as obviously it was an optimistic move going, free in the middle. Guven actually got the slightest of touches on the right from Jeff, which is what put him into you, which we hadn't realised on the broadcast.
Yeah, there was just a little bit of netcode there, and I mean that was just it's unfortunate just because he I mean he was trying to clear Jeff so he could clear me, which is it's completely fair. And I mean he had a lot of position on Jeff. It's just when we're all so stacked up, he can't really do anything, and I can't be as mad as I was in the car, because when I'm in the car, you get a different point of view of everything, and I just saw him slide into me, and I was like, oh, yep, this happened during an SOF during Pro Q here.
It's always the other driver's fault when you're driving.
Doesn't matter
who you are. That's every driver's instant reaction.
when you're in the car, there are no racing incidents. So, I know I got to reach out to JB. I was doing everything I could just to keep the car back to the left, but then the car started to slide, and I had to save it, and yeah, just an unfortunate deal there. I know he's probably not too happy with that, but maybe there are a couple things I could have done, but I was just trying to get it, back on track, and I thought he'd be further outside. So that was my mistake, and I'm really sorry for him as well.
I'm assuming you've got some. So where did you pick up some damage? You had some damage, right? Because the car just didn't have anything on the sort of the high-speed corners or the straights to the rest.
Yeah. So it was when I got hit out by Guven and that whole deal, and then I slid across the grass, and then when I rejoined, I got to test the new contact physics in this car, which I gotta say, iRacing, thank you so much, I love you. Came across, and then JB just kind of had nowhere to go and just hit me, and he hit me square. So it didn't, with the new contacts now, you can hit someone square and it does nothing. It's fantastic. And he just hit me and just kind of boosted me up, and then he got hit by Charlie from behind. But basically, I mean, that's where a lot of it came from. And so that's how I ended up. Yeah, and so from that point on, it was driving to an instant total, because that left me with like 6x on the first lap. And so at that point here, especially, you're just driving to have as few incidents as possible for the rest of the race.
I mean, from there, like you say, I mean, you're just trying to hold on. They're battling. You're able to close up while they're battling, using the draft as much as you can. Obviously, yeah, you lose to Max and Tommy. I think really just because there's nothing you can do to defend when you've not got not got a clean car. But I think you'd be pretty happy with that, top 6.
Oh yeah, no, P6. So I had the least amount of confidence I think I've ever had going into a race. Like before this, I was so frustrated last night. I spun in 2 different test races, made the same mistake twice, kept qualifying like last or second last in our practice races, and I'm like, well, if I can come out of here at the top 20, I think I'll be happy. So to come out top 6 is something I'm really happy with. And well, we actually ended up with our first non-top 5 finish. So we were running at the finish, but not. So I am just so happy with that, just that we were actually able to finish one of these deals. And I know we probably could have gotten up there in the mix with Tommy and Max, but I was convinced they were going to crash each other. Max drives very aggressively, especially under pressure. So yeah, I mean, that's what happens. And so when I was on that high in incident total, I was just trying to stay back as far as I could, and that's why I ended up just letting Charlie go there, just because I think I was on 13x and the incident limit's 17. So if I got hit by one person, then I was done. So I was just trying to take it easy on the last lap there.
Yep. Yeah, good call, I think. Right, chaps. Kev as well. Any kind of like final thoughts from you guys before we lead into the next round? Oh, are we just a week break for this one, or is it 2 weeks?
It's 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
to the end of the season. Yeah, it's every 2 weeks. So.
Yeah. Good. And more Porsche Carrera GB, so yeah, we can just. I guess we can.
Some time.
Yeah, we can get our head down, and I guess we still
gotta
figure out.
I have got a 26-kilometer circuit or whatever ridiculous number it is of Nordschleife to work towards. So
my favourite track, so bring it on. I'm looking forward to it.
A track. I know where all the corners go. So
that's a start.
That's a head
start. I'm guessing qualifying strats are not going to have quite the same impact there, right?
No, I don't.
Probably not. No.
Yeah, I don't think
it will actually.
At all.
For the first time this season, it may actually be just drive the car like you're supposed to. So yeah, but
no cheese for me.
Yeah.
And then we've obviously just got to try and figure out. There's still a 10th or 2. What do you reckon? 10th or 2 that we're going to figure out on qualifying. Is that looking at where Coanda were today?
Yeah, I think so.
So
yeah, we had a slightly different strat to them, so I think we can take note of that for the end of the season.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's Nords it doesn't really apply. We have a couple tracks though that it may apply to. So yeah, we'll debrief it, have a look, and see what we could have done better, and yeah, we'll come back and see how we do.
Me and Lee were getting all giddy after the first run of quali laps when they were down at like sort of 11th and 12th. We're like, we got you.
I thought it was too good
and then
to be
literally
true.
they just went ching, ching, ching,
Yeah.
ching, ching. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, I knew it was too good to be true when Rogers was sitting like 17th or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's just. I think we went for the 1 lap strategy, and I think everyone else went to the 2. So yeah.
So it was the second lap was the quickest.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
they took 2 warm-up laps,
Yeah.
I think.
So in a little hotter weather, I think 1 lap would have been the way to go. But I think since this session was very close to the minimum temp we could have had, I think it just ended up benefiting them a lot with the 2-lap strat. I think it would have been even, basically, if we just had a little hotter track temp. But, you know, I think I'll take that. I mean, I don't think we were too far off, especially with our strategy. So I definitely think everything, maybe except for the way we played Q, was really good today.
Right, thanks very much, chaps. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll wrap this show up, unless there was anything else you wanted to add.
One
Just
quick
want to kind of
note.
give our condolences to Michele, first of all.
Yeah.
Obviously he's had a bit of a rough couple of days, and obviously that parade lap was for him and his family. Unfortunately, I think a lot of the Twitch chat thought it was for Murray Walker, which is a bit of a shame. Obviously, he passed away today as well. But yeah, no, I just want to give a shout out to Michele and his family. Hope everything's okay, and yeah, just glad that we could all kind of group up at the end there and yeah, do a nice parade lap. It looked good.
Yeah, same here. Just I feel really sorry for him. I'm definitely going to keep him in my prayers. Yeah, I don't really have a lot more to say than just that he has all my condolences that I can give.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, it was sad. Obviously, I didn't want to say too much. Just that we were all driving with heavy hearts on that. So, but yeah, big shout out to him and his family. Yeah, we'll be thinking of you. Right, thank you, gentlemen. I'll let you go, and we will
Thanks, guys.
we'll close this show down. And yeah, good job, and we'll catch you for the next round.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
See you soon.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
And now that Mr. Ellis has left the channel, so he's not going to be sad about hearing points, I've got provisional points thanks to Sim Racing Wiki. So, as expected, Seb with his victory today jumped 2 spots, jumped ahead of Mitchell and Kevin up to second. Then Mitchell de Jong in third, 5-point gap, and then Kevin in fourth, 25 points back, and then Charlie Collins fifth.
Well, like Kev said, it really has
15 points back.
tightened everything up there as well. We're
It's-
what, 3
exactly.
weeks, 3 weeks to go, 3 rounds to go now.
Four,
sorry.
3. So no, you're right. 3. My bad. Yeah, 3 rounds to go, and there's a pretty decent gap behind Charlie to Beneke in 6th. So, like I said, I'd say that 2nd to 5th looks pretty interesting.
Right, thanks everyone for tuning in. Like I say, we're still working the kinks out with this. Let us know, what you think. Are you kind of? I mean, I'm guessing you just kind of want to hear everything. But yeah, give us your feedback. If you're on any of our sort of Discord servers or anything like that, if there's something different, like I say, we have to come away from the normal broadcast to have this kind of more sort of onboard stream. Hope that you kind of like that we are listening to bits of the guys' conversations and stuff like that. Yeah, we have to toe a line a little bit, I think. But yeah, if there's something a bit different that you want, bit of a different information or something like that, post in the comments on the YouTube video and so that, and we'll try and make it happen for the next round. But I think also for the next round, we will have all the rest of the guys on board as well. So we'll switch between all 5 drivers, listening to kind of all of them, what they're up to. Lee, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining me, and yeah, we'll wrap it up and hand it back over to our brand new Apex Academy ads. See you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back.